What's up, everybody? Garrett back here, and what an interesting morning we had today. We got some news dropped, some physical media news, especially in the world of horror, dropped. Now, the two big things that people are going to want to talk about is the Scream Factory drops. That's number one. And number two, Paramount announced their Paramount Scares Volume 2. Now, when that came out last year, we weren't sure if this was going to be an ongoing thing. Was this just kind of a one off? I think it really depended on how that first one did, which I think a lot of people bought it, but at the same time, I think a lot of people at the end of the day weren't necessarily too happy with it, the whole idea of it. I had mentioned this before. I did buy it because I thought in my head, hey, listen, this could be something cool. This could be a one-off. So I wanted to make sure to have that just in case this did become just a one-off type thing. And it would just have been something different from Paramount in the history of physical media. Now, when I got that set, it comes with a Fangoria magazine, which is pretty cool. Now, it's a thinner magazine, but just another Fangoria magazine. That was the big reason a lot of people wanted this, because if your collector's a Fangoria, it's just something that's limited to these sets only, which I do think is a cool add-on. The problem is, as much as that is cool, then you have to get a box that's going to house that magazine. So that's another thing I feel like is kind of a con of this set, is that the box is just so big that these things get housed in. Now, you could take out the movies because they all are in their own slip covers and put them on the shelf. But all in all, I think the movies they chose last time were not mind-blowing. It felt kind of random. I think those were kind of my issues with them. Now, at the end of the day, I didn't really care for that set at all. So now that they're announcing a part 2, I'm super curious to kind of find out exactly what we have in store for this. And when I checked it out, man, I'm not here to rant because it really has nothing to do with me. I'm not the one spending the money on it. But let's look at this together and talk about it. So it says Paramount Scares Volume 2 4K UHD Collection. Okay, you get the big box. This time it's green. You do get the movies inside. You get a collectible poster. You do get a Fangoria. It looks like Friday the 13th is on that Fangoria. You get some patches. You get a sticker, and you get a pin. So let's take a look. The big one that everybody's going to talk about is, oh my God, Friday the 13th Part 2 on 4K. Which, again, that's a huge get. I'm just very confused on why they chose to chuck this in here like this. Part 2. Part 2. I guess this is probably the clincher for people to buy this set, because when you look at the other movies, we have Breakdown from 1997, we have World War Z, and we have Orphan First Kill. So when I look at this set, I think to myself, who the hell made these decisions? This is so random. It's so random. I get it. Yeah, Paramount owns all these titles, but why not just do a Friday the 13th box set in 4K? Why not just do that? Why not just wait and work on that? That would be a huge seller for them. This, I don't really know what this is. Again, Breakdown's a great movie. I have the Paramount Presents. I don't need this in 4K. World War Z, this just came out in 4K from ScreamFactory. I own a beautiful edition of this on Blu-ray. Beautiful edition. It comes in this thick box. It's got all these goodies. So World War Z, I'm fine with the edition I have. Orphan First Kill, I have that already on Blu-ray. And I don't think it had a 4K. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, Breakdown's great. World War Z, I actually do like that movie quite a bit. Orphan First Kill, I thought it was okay. Friday the 13th Part 2, yeah, I mean, that's a great movie. But I just don't understand this whole thing. Now, I don't know how much this is going to cost, probably $70 to $100, I think, which, again, when you see the price of stuff now, it's not the worst, especially when you get all these goodies and stuff like that. But, man, what's the old saying? What's the one that George Bush said? Fool me once, you're not going to fool me again, right? Like, that's kind of my mindset when I see this thing here. I don't think I'm buying this. There's not enough meat on the bone for me to get a Friday the 13th Part 2 thrown into a set like this. I'll wait. I will wait for this. As you saw from last time, a lot of those movies were released by themselves or somewhere else. So it's not like you're never going to get this. It's for the impatient people that are going to want it first. Again, I don't know what the story is here. Obviously, the Friday 13 2 was the clincher to get people to really sink their teeth into this edition. Cool, you get a Fangoria with Friday 2. That is pretty damn cool. But inside that Fangoria, it's going to be a little bit thin. You're just going to talk about all the different movies that are in this set. So again, from me and my collecting standpoint, I think I'm done with the Paramount Scares line. It's just a gaudy box. It's hard to display. It's hard to store. I have all these movies already. I have great editions of all these movies. I feel like I just bought some of these movies: Breakdown, Orphan, Final Kill. So for me to go and spend the money when there's so much other cool stuff out there and so much other cool stuff coming, I'm probably good. This is very interesting to say the least. I really don't know the mindset behind this, like, because of it being so freaking random. I'm looking at it now and I'm like, okay, you get a movie from the 80s, a movie from the 90s, a movie from 2010s, a movie from the 2020s. Like, I kind of get that. Now, is there going to be a secret title in here? It doesn't say. Possibly. Maybe it's a title from the 2000s, right? Maybe it's a title from the 2000s. There's so many out there that I feel like would work, but what we got last time was that, Barber movie or whatever with Johnny Depp, and that wasn't, the best announcement at the end of the day. It was very deflating for this set. So this is wild to me. It's kind of baffling to me that this is what the decision was made on. I don't like the slip covers. So again, for me, this is a definite no-go. For other people, they're going to hype this up because they love shiny new objects. I'm more of a realist. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I love something, I'm going to tell you. If I don't like something, I'm just here to be honest with what I see. There's so many titles they could have used on here. I just think throwing Friday the 13th Part 2 in there is just completely random, where they could have done so much more with that disc. But that's the Paramount Scares Volume 2 that was just announced this morning. Let me know what you guys think about this. Again, I think a lot of people are going to be excited about it because it's Friday the 13th 2 on 4K. Big deal. We'll get it eventually. We've got a beautiful Friday the 13th box set from ScreamFactory that is just fine. We have some of those steel books that just came out. That's just fine. If you don't have any patience and you want to dive on this thing, cool. But I will say this: if you don't own any of these movies, I would say get it. The price is probably going to be the same as if you bought them straight up, and you get all these extra goodies with it. So buy this edition if you don't have these movies, any of these movies in your collection. Fine, I get it. But for someone like me who has all these movies already, it's not worth the squeeze. I don't need Orphan First Kill again. I don't need these movies on 4K. So I'm fine with what I have. And like I said, I just saw this and I was like, I've got to talk about it because I don't know what people are going to say. I feel like people are going to be excited just because it's new, where I want to come at it from an angle of I'm trying to be a realist when you break this down and kind of see what we're getting here. So with that being said, that's the first big announcement. The second big announcement was ScreamFactory dropped their titles, their new titles coming out for pre-order. What could it be? We have all these companies doing some great stuff over here. What does ScreamFactory have in store for us? Like I say before, to me, ScreamFactory were always the top dogs. I feel like a lot of these companies have kind of, beat them to the punch on a lot of things recently. Like, what can they do to kind of come back? And we were announced today, Devil in 4K from 2010. Okay. I guess. I mean, Devil's okay. Do I need it in 4K? No. Wolfman in 4K with Anthony Hopkins. Got the Blu-ray. Don't need an upgrade of this movie. So for me, nah. Death Becomes Her, great movie. But I've got that Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Don't really need the upgrade. So it is what it is. Shocker. Now I will say this, Shocker is a favorite of mine. Out of all these releases, I'm gonna say Shocker is like the one I may get. Um, but let's see, as things are coming out, like I'm curious if there's anything new on here, which is highly doubtful. But Shocker, great movie. If you don't own it, get it. Drag Me to Hell 4K. I'm good. Got the Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Don't really need to upgrade to 4K. Land of the Dead. Got the Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Don't need this in 4K. Are they kidding me with this right now? As above, so below. Why? Okay, it's a cool movie. It is creepy. But this has a Blu-ray already. This Blu-ray you can get at like the Dollar Tree. You can get it on Amazon for less than $10. So it's not even an upgrade. It's just a Blu-ray with some maybe extra features on it. I mean, I don't know. This is no. Why would I pay $30, $25 for this movie on Blu-ray when we've got it? I've got it, and you can get this thing for under $10. See, these are the decisions that I don't really understand from Scream Factory. I don't get it. What are we doing here? We're just upgrading our whole library, but not giving us any features as we know or as we've seen on all these movies that they've already done. Man, you know what? Like, I'm done. I'm done. They can maybe win me over with Shocker just because, again, I'm such a sucker for that movie, but I don't get it. And this goes for this Paramount Scares. This goes from Scream Factory. Who are the decision makers here? How is Scream Factory not beating these other companies to the punch on some of these movies that are coming out? Instead, we're just going to sit back, twiddle our thumbs, and just redo our whole library that we still have access to. Is that because we're losing these titles and we don't want other people to snag them after we're done? I don't know what the mindset is here. I mean, they lost Trick or Treat, right? Arrow's putting out the 4K, so maybe they're trying to beat everybody to the punch before they lose the rights. I have no idea. But man, like, I feel like every month with them is so lackluster. Like, where are all these movies that we actually need new editions of? I've talked about it before. Like, stick to the 2000s. Find these 2000s movies. I know Lionsgate owns tons of them, so I don't know if that's a problem, but we're talking about things like The Ruins. What about a Descent box set? Like, these movies that are super cool from that time. Again, I just did a video the other day talking about the Laid to Rest series. Why aren't we doing a box set? 1 and 2, Laid to Rest, 4K. Give us something different to rehash all this stuff again. It's wild to me. And then the whole Paramount Scares box, like we just got a 4K of World War Z from Scream Factory like 2 months ago. So what is the deal here with this? I really don't understand these decisions. And I think at the end of the day, it really just comes down to who are the people making these decisions and why are these decisions being made? Because again, if you don't own these movies already, I will preface this again, then get them because some of these are cool movies. But for me, who owns these movies, every single one of these movies that I just brought up on Blu-ray, there's not enough meat on the bone here for me to upgrade. And that's just me. And I'm sure there's a lot of other collectors out there that are in a similar boat as me. So hopefully they kind of understand. But the problem is that everybody wants something new because they want to be able to talk about it. So again, I'm not one of those people. I'm going to get what I want, not what I think I'm supposed to have. And I'm going to talk to you guys about it. So I wanted to come on here and do this really quick just to give you my view, my angle on these announcements, because I'm not going to kiss everybody's ass about it. I'm going to be completely honest because I know there's a lot of other collectors out there that kind of feel a way of, oh my God, I've got to rebuy this. Why? You don't have to rebuy it. I know sometimes the community makes you feel like you need to rebuy it, but you don't need to rebuy it. And I just want to come on here to be the voice to kind of tell people if it's worth it, get it. If it's not, you don't have to get this. So for me, honestly, out of everything I showed today, Shocker is probably the one that I may pick up. And that's just, again, because I absolutely love the movie. If we get more features than we have on that other Screen Factory, even better, right? So, but I'm not totally even sold on Shocker yet. I'll see, I'll see. I don't need to upgrade everything now. There's so much cool shit out there from these companies that I'm being a little bit more picky. I just spent a boatload of money on Umbrella the other day because they're putting out some cool, different stuff. So I don't have a problem doing that. But I feel like when these announcements are dropped, I have to be a little bit more picky. And when they're a little bit lackluster, I've got to be honest with myself and with everybody else on my thoughts on that. Some of these companies, need to do a little bit better. I understand. And I do think that they see the collecting mindset of the people who are still really heavily into physical media right now and be like, it doesn't matter what we do, they're going to buy it. And guys, again, if you need it, get it. But if you don't need it, don't feel like you need to get it. But that's just my thoughts on this news. Let me know down below your thoughts on this news. Maybe you're going to disagree with me. Maybe you're going to agree with me. Maybe you're going to say, thank you for saying the things that nobody wants to say. And guys, this is Garrett at Born to Be Rad. And like always, stay